Oh my goodness. Vegas. What a pathetic team. I mean, I'm oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm just immensely giddy over what I just saw. So, we have a game 7 coming. Mm-hmm. 3 teams had a chance to finish their series off in 6. The Islanders did that. The Islanders took care of the Penguins because the Penguins, I don't know what happened. Well, I know what happened. I don't know what happened. The defense just went to pieces. And the Islanders just pounced on it. 5 goals in 2 periods. The last 3 in about 3 minutes in the second period. And now the Islanders have ousted Pittsburgh again. And that's the second time in 3 years that they've beaten the Penguins out. And it comes with Crosby having only 2 points that whole series. That's not good. And so the Islanders are off to round 2, and that's one series set. The East Division's final round. It'll be the Bruins and the Islanders. The Bruins will have home ice in that series. That's gonna be a fun series. Who else had the chance to advance? The reigning, defending, undisputed Stanley Cup heavyweight champions, the Tampa Bay Lightning, and they did just that. They shut out the Panthers 4-0. So now they've moved on. They will await either Carolina or Nashville. And you can't really discredit the Panthers. They played their asses off. I think out of the eliminated teams, there's going to be 8 eliminated teams for this first round, but I think the Panthers will have played the best out of that group. They really wasn't that much of a hitch in their giddy up. They were out there getting the goals in, players racking up points. They really played hard. They did. They really should be proud of themselves. I mean, the Lightning, they were just too much. That's all I can say. But the Panthers should be proud and build on this. They have nothing to be ashamed of. Now, the Golden Knights had a chance to do what the Lightning and the Islanders did. But they didn't do that. They didn't even score. 3-0 loss. All three wild goals scored in that third period, and now we have a game 7. Oh, I can just hear the excuses coming from Knights fans. Oh, the refs gypped us. They wouldn't dare blame Fleury because after all, Knights fans think Fleury can do no wrong. It's Leonard they pick on. Oh boy! But this is the 3rd year in a row. They've only existed 4 years. This is the 3rd year in a row where the Knights have to play Game 7 after being up 3-1 in a series. That happened to them 2 years ago, and they lost Game 7 in overtime. That was the 5-minute major game where the Sharks scored 4 goals in that power play. Last year in the bubble, that series against Vancouver, they were up 3-1, and then all of a sudden, games 5 and 6, they didn't know where the net was, but they knew enough times in Game 7 to win. Only to forget again against Dallas. They couldn't find a net even they were in that series. But you ask any Knights fan, Leonard cost in that series because if Fleury was in, they'd have trounced Dallas, scoring 1 or 2 goals. Oh boy. You know what Avalanche fans call up when we scored 2 goals? The first half of second period. Yeah, so and here we are again. And honestly, I thought the Knights were just going to take care of it. Because it looked like that Game 1 loss, the 1-0 overtime loss, that was just a blip. The Knights were getting it together. They outscored Minnesota 12-3 in those games. I thought, well, that's it. Vegas is going to finish it off Game 5, and we have our dream series, Avs and Knights. But then they lost Game 5, even though the Wild had only 13 shots on goal, and Vegas had 40. But and I kind of had a shaky feeling tonight, and there it was. So, Game 7, we have a Game 7. Game 7 is wonderful unless it's your team that's in it. even when you force it, unless it's your team that's in it, because Game 7 is is nail biting, especially in an unpredictable game like hockey. But yeah, Game 7, we have one, and I don't think that'll be the last one. There's probably going to be a couple more coming up in the following rounds. But anyway, so that is my recap of tonight's action. It was great. We saw, like I said, two teams advance, and one has to play a final game of the series. And then before I close off, I would like to say I hope we get some news involving the second round schedule, because 5 teams have advanced, and we actually have a second round series locked in: Boston and the Islanders. And hopefully the NHL will come out with something resembling a schedule for the division finals, round 2 of this playoffs. Because I'm anxious, especially as an Avs fan. The Avalanche haven't played since Sunday, and we're still waiting for the other West series to finish. So yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. Hopefully the league comes out with some news about a round 2 schedule. But as for speed of scheduling, let's talk about what's in store tomorrow. 2 games tomorrow. Like I said, it's elimination games rest away in round 1. Tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Game 5, Maple Leafs, Canadiens. Leafs have a chance to win their first playoff series since 2004. And Montreal is trying to force Game 6 back at home, where there will be fans attendance. I think I read it's supposed to be 2,500 people in attendance for a potential Game 6 in Montreal. That's if the Habs win. But if Toronto wins, they will face Winnipeg in that North Division final. So Game 5 is tomorrow. And also tomorrow, at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, Game 6, Hurricanes, Predators. Canes are up 3-2. And if they win, it's a meeting with the defending champs in the Central Division's final round. Of course, Nashville's looking to force Game 7 back in Raleigh. Now, the home team has won every game so far. So obviously, the first road team to win advances. But it should be pretty good. That's a series I thought was going to be short, but now this looks like we could have something here. Nashville has kind of a good shot of upsetting Carolina, but Carolina, I think they probably should take it tomorrow. So that's what's in store tomorrow. Friday night, Game 7, Wild Golden Knights in Vegas, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Winner faces the Avalanche. So this is it. We are going to have an opponent in the West Division final after Friday night. So again, Friday is Game 7. Now, as far as the rest of the schedule, if other games are needed, Saturday is the schedule for a Game 7 between Nashville and Carolina, which would be back in Raleigh if Nashville wins tomorrow night. And if Montreal wins tomorrow night, it's Game 6 back in Montreal on Saturday. And if Montreal wins the next 2 games, it's Game 7 on Memorial Day in Toronto. So yeah, the first round schedule is dwindling. It might dwindle some more, and hopefully, I would think round 2 would start probably as soon as I actually tweeted Monday. It might be Sunday, if I don't know. I think it might be Monday. Sunday might be too soon because Game 7 Friday. I think that's going to push things back a bit. I think round 2 will start probably Monday. That's if and only if Toronto and Carolina finish their series tomorrow night. So we'll see what develops. But those Game 6s should be fun, and Game 7 is always fun. So that's my recap of tonight's action. And I'll be back to recap the Game 6s tomorrow. Hopefully that'll come with advancements. Though or it could be a Game 7 forced or 2 Game 7s forced. But either way, it should be interesting. So I'll recap all of that tomorrow. Stay tuned.